and welcome to episode 132 of
The Eldritch Podblast.
I am Margaret.
I am Jack.
And I remembered the number.
Oh my goodness gracious, mate. I mean, we did just record the other one before
I
this.
was going to say, you want to know why?
Because it's on the same day.
We just recorded Monday's episode 2 minutes ago.
Oh my goodness.
2 minutes. We had a break.
2 minutes ago?
I'm in my bread making era.
Yeah, you are in your bread making era. You do like making bread.
I am very much in my bread making era. I say my bread making era. We have a bread maker.
Yeah, so you just put the mix in.
We buy a bread mix that I just have to put some water in. And,
oh my god, she's a baker.
Oh my god, I'm a baker.
Oh my god, you're baking bread.
It's so good, man.
It's so good.
There's nothing better than like a freshly baked loaf of bread.
It's so good.
It's so good. And you know what? We had your parents gave us this bread maker when we moved into this house like 7 years ago. We used it when we first moved in.
Yeah.
And then
we used it in the pandemic.
We certainly did.
Because everyone did.
Yes, indeed. And then we stopped using it. But I don't know what it was. I was just like, man.
You wanted some bread, didn't you?
Yeah, I just wanted some bread.
I just got you the bread mix.
Yeah. I'm in my baking era in general.
We had
baking era.
We had banana bread the other day.
We made banana bread, which was
also
really good. But
we baked bread.
We had a brownie last night. And again, the mix.
It's just a brownie mix.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Man.
2 eggs and a bit of oil, was it? 2 eggs and a bit of...
So, it normally would have been, but we didn't have any oil, so I used the butter.
2 eggs and a bit of butter.
That's why we didn't have any butter today.
So I went and got some butter.
There's nothing more devastating than we were on we were playing WoW with one of our IRL friends, Ben. I've known Ben since I was like a horrible teenager.
You just swore.
No! Oh my god! No!
Oh, shame.
Since I was a nasty little teenager.
Yeah.
And he was like, be right back, I'm gonna get some bread. He came back and he was like, I don't have any butter and I didn't put any salt in the bread. And I was like, I'm making bread. And he's like, I'm really into making bread.
He's into making bread as well.
Yeah, he was like, I bought a sourdough culture and everything. So
he's
funny.
in his bread making era.
Yeah, same. Who else is in your bread making era?
Are you baking bread?
You making some bread for me?
Are you doing it right now?
Oh my god, bake me some bread.
I can't believe you didn't tell me you're baking bread.
So you're a clog wearing, bread baking, entity loving
Squad blaster.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Clogger.
Rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
I didn't put my t-shirt on.
You didn't put your t-shirt on. Interesting. Well.
What do we think?
Well. Go on, show him. Go on.
It's clogging time.
Listen, we said it would never be done, and yet here we are.
So I want to say a big thank you to Renanana, who made this design from scratch.
Yeah.
Amazing talent. Really love the design.
God, it looks so good. She posted it in our Discord. We have like a fan art section. She posted it being like this. We saw it, just the sketch. We saw it and we were like, we have to put that on a t-shirt.
Has to go on a t-shirt.
We have to. So,
ain't no way that's not going on a t-shirt.
No way. Absolutely no way. So we messaged her. We commissioned her in the end to do it for us. And it looks so good. And it's good. It's wild. It's wild what you guys come up with. Yeah. And you know what? It's just such a cool design.
I know, I love it. With the flaming clogs.
Yeah.
With the squad blast embossed on the front of the clog with all the lightning. Let's go.
Yeah, the pink and the purple.
So if you want to go and pick up it's clogging time t-shirt, www.eldritchpodblast.co.uk. It's a great way to support the podcast.
Indeed.
You will be supporting me and Margaret by doing so. And just once again, big shout out to Renanana.
Thank you so much.
Basically, we didn't even, ask for this.
No, not at all.
She just was doing it.
Did it.
And then we were like, could we put that on a t-shirt? And she was like, hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We did pay her, I promise.
Yes.
We did.
Yeah.
We didn't just go, hey, can we put that on a t-shirt?
Can we just steal that?
Yeah. Oh my God, stealing?
So thank you so much for doing that. And, if anyone's gone and picked one up, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Stream should have known about it
on Sunday.
As a Friday. Right? As a Friday, we would have, because we're streaming tonight.
Yeah, you get the sneak peek when you come to stream.
Yeah.
You get the sneaking peek in when you come to stream.
Yeah. We will have shown it on stream. So thank you so very much. Thank you, Renanana, for such an incredible t-shirt.
Yeah.
Just a bit of fun in it.
Just a bit of crack in it.
And you know what? People are going to, listen, are people going to look at you weird? Yes. Are people going to ask you what on earth clogging time means? Also, yes.
Yeah, and then you can explain it in great detail.
There you go. So, There you go.
So enjoy. Thank you so much. I love it. I wear it all the time. It's my favorite t-shirt.
He really does.
I've been devastated that I haven't been able to wear it on stream and haven't been able to wear it on camera.
Yeah. And you know what? We were like, we should do like a skit for it, and then we were like, you know what? We're just gonna keep putting it off.
We don't have the time, so we just keep putting it off. So the thing is with merch, because people just want merch of things that they like.
Yeah.
And people just want more t-shirts that they can buy because look,
it's just a fun joke.
And it's just a fun joke. So we were just like, instead of writing a skit, let's just get it out and get it to the people and let the squaddy beast see it. You know? How's my dog?
He's licking. Oh, goodness.
Dog was licking?
Yep. Off
Dog
to
was
a
having a
wonderful
lick.
start. Off to a great start.
So yes, www.eldritchpodblast.co.uk. Go and pick yourself up a Clog in Time t-shirt.
Yeah.
And thanks so much for supporting the podcast in any which way that you see fit.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So, got something to say. Oh yeah. First of all, I hope you're doing well.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Hope you're having a wonderful day.
What are you eating? What are you drinking? Have you got your clogs on?
Oh my god.
Have you got your Clog in Time t-shirt
Exactly.
on? Because if you haven't,
shame.
Banned. But also, I could sit here and say that last episode there was too long of an intro. We had too many things to go through, and that's why we didn't put the winner of the Homebrew Challenge in there. But that would be a lie.
That's a filthy lie.
We just forgot. So we're going to do it this episode.
We just completely forgot
We're going to do it this episode.
Yes, indeed.
Look, we've had a lot going on.
Yeah. There's a lot of changes.
And
a lot
also,
of things happening.
You know, I've got the purple light now, and Margaret's got the pink light. Because we were literally pressing record on last episode, and Margaret was like,
Can I have the pink
I was
light?
like,
no.
Next episode. Let's just record
light.
now.
I have the pink light.
So, Margaret's got the pink light.
Yes, I do. I have it. And what? So, gender norms. We love them here.
Yeah, pink and purple.
Yeah. You gotta stick. Oh my god, stick to the binary, please.
Yeah. Oh my god, boys love purple.
Yeah. So yes, so very sorry. We for the second time in a row.
No, second time in a row. Yeah, maybe it was
second time in a row.
No, it wasn't second time in a row.
Yeah, second time in a row. Yeah.
Was it?
Yep, second time in a row.
We've
forgotten to read out the Homebrew Challenge winner on the video.
No, but we haven't because we're doing it now.
Well, yeah, on the correct video. And you know what? We were going to...
What is the correct video?
Yeah, well, who knows now? we were going to edit this into Monday's episode, but we were like, as you know, we're trying to trial two shorter videos. It was too long. So yeah. With that.
So look.
Here
is the wiener.
Let's give it up for the wiener. So if you don't know
hands up for the wiener.
Wiener. If you don't know what the Homebrew Challenge is, every
2 weeks.
2 weeks. How often is a theme?
We have a theme that runs for 3 challenges. Each challenge we read out on our Twitch stream. Each challenge we read out on our Twitch stream.
Can't either of us explain
every
this.
2 weeks. We pick a winner and then we read it out on the Podblast.
Yeah, what's a theme?
What's a theme?
Yeah, go on.
What do you mean?
We set a theme for every 3 challenges, and this current theme is Sea and Sky.
Sea and Sky.
And then we roll on a table to choose which of the challenges are going to be, and then you homebrew them. So we have had a race, a piece of clothing, and a religion, culture, and faction.
We sure have.
And we read out religion, culture, and faction.
On stream. And we have picked a winner to read out today on the Podblast.
Indeed. So if you would be interested in entering, please check our Discord. It all goes through the Discord.
Yeah, it does.
And every single person's submission will be read out on stream.
Yeah, it will.
So, the wiener. The wiener for Sea and Sky. The first iteration of Sea and Sky.
Oh my goodness gracious me.
For a religion, culture, or faction.
Yeah.
It goes to Queen Ro.
It goes to Queen Ro.
Or Ariel, and she uses she, her pronouns.
I think we both agreed on this one as well.
Yeah, we
normally
did.
There's some conflicting opinions of maybe this one. But I think we came when we were like, we just really loved this one. We thought it was brilliant.
Yeah, and you know what? This was Ariel's first submission as well.
Well done to you because you did such a great job.
Yeah, a beautiful, absolutely beautiful submission. Truly, truly is. I immediately cannot remember how the pronunciation of this is. So
go on, just give it your best go.
I think it's Margiela.
Okay.
Or was it Margiela?
No, I think it's Margiela.
Margiela. So this is Margiela, Eldin of the Elven Orkella tribe, told her grandchild every night before rest. At the beginning of creation, there was no sea or sky, but one holy being filled with love. As the world was formed and land began to rise, they became less and less entwined. As the two goddesses were pulled apart, from between them fell the first Orkella elves, formed both from the love and the sorrow of their parted lovers. However, the two saw the beauty in what was being created, and so, to preserve that, they stepped apart, never to meet properly again, so that the people of the infant world could thrive. Ormina, the Cloud Mistress, and Dakella, Lady of the Waves, long for each other, and for when they will eventually be reunited. Days where Ormina misses her wife desperately are foretold in thunderous, rain-filled skies. Weeks of Dakella's anger at their separation ground ships and smashed them against the very ground that rose up to part the two lovers. Prophecies say that when the two once again meet, marriages and relationships consummated under their joyful reunion will be everlasting and immortal. The seas will calm, and the sky will shine bright forevermore. Sea and sky meet only at the horizon, and so the worshippers of the lovers sail the waters of the Siren Sea unendingly to find the place where the two can kiss once more. Floating temples like ours travel for centuries without touching land, and generation after generation pray. So Ormina blows their sails, and Dakella steals her waves, and the two can be reunited. And that, my darling, is why we always aim for that beautiful horizon, so our goddesses can be once again together, and you can find that never-ending love that our ancestors have always longed for. Thank you for reading my first submission to the Homebrew Challenge.
Why so sad? Why so sad?
Everyone was like, yep. Two gay gods.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Two gay goddesses.
Two sad gay goddesses. I'm in.
I'm in.
Man, God, absolutely. First of all, beautiful writing. And I said this on stream, but I really, really like sky and sea only meet at the horizon.
Love that.
And that's why they always aim for the horizon.
And that's the thing, it's like, they don't. Like, the sea and sky could never meet.
Yeah.
They just could never meet. But the fact that, like, there's a, like, maybe like a rumor, there's like a telling that that's where the two goddesses met again. That's why the horizon's so beautiful, because you can never get to the horizon because the horizon never comes to you.
Indeed.
And stuff like that. And I just love those sort of like fairy tales of like what's at the end of, like I said on stream, like what's at the end of a rainbow.
Exactly.
You'll never know because you'll never find it because it's impossible.
What do you meet at the end of the horizon?
What do you meet at the end of the horizon when the horizon runs out?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just, I don't know, it would just be such a cool like idea. And like as an arc in the campaign, like somehow you do find a way to find the horizon.
Oh, I
and
love
see like these two goddesses just like meeting again. Oh man,
I love that. I've got goosebumps. And you know what? I love the idea of people who like worship these goddesses. Like their whole lives, they strive to bring them together. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love love.
It's such a great idea.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Love it.
And you know, again, you always surprise me at how you are able to incorporate the theme into it. Obviously, that's the whole point, right?
And how often you can get love in there.
Yeah, goodness gracious me. I absolutely so beautiful. It leaves so many questions.
Yeah, there's so much mystery, so much fantasy, so much
whimsy,
so much lore. Like the fact that the elves were built from like, you know, the separation and stuff like that.
Exactly. And you know that they were like, listen, we have to part to give these creatures a chance at living. Man, I love that. I love that. It's whimsical. It's beautiful. It was so incredibly well written. Queen Ro, you should be so proud of yourself.
For your first submission as well.
What a beautiful submission.
Done. What a great job.
If you don't get misty-eyed through that, I don't know.
Are you misty-eyed yet?
Oh my God, me.
Misty those eyes up.
Misty your eyes?
Come on, let's get some mist.
Yeah, oh my God,
I want to see some mist.
Mist them.
How's my dog?
Beautiful. Dog? Asleep.
Good.
He's asleep. Oh, he had the full MOT, by the way.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. We were going to tell you this on Mondays, but we kind of got too into it.
He
full MOT.
Full MOT.
Oh
yesterday. Well, I cut his nails the other day because, you know, they're just, bull terrier nails are just so hard to cut. So like when we do it, it's a big deal. and like I have to lock him in the front room with me, and we just gotta like do it as many times until we get the nails to the point that they.
I'm not allowed to be in the room because I freak out too much.
Yeah. So, but then yesterday we gave him a wash. Like we brushed his teeth.
Him.
We like rinsed out his eye.
We like properly cleaned his feet
because he's got like a little like goopy eye at the minute. So we got some like salt water eyes.
Washed his eyes out.
We had some steroid cream on the feet. It was just like full MOT.
Full MOT.
Just take the day. And he was like, oh my god, out.
He was
like
out.
Light.
He was out.
On the night time, he was like,
yeah, he was gone. He slept all night.
Dunzo.
Oh my god, actually Dunzo. Yeah. Yeah. What were we?
Nothing moved. That was it. Oh.
Yeah.
www.eldritchpodblast.co.uk. Go and pick yourself up some clogging time merch.
Yeah. Yeah. Congratulations, Queen Ro.
Well done, Queen Ro. Brilliant first ever submission. That was really good.
Please join us this Sunday for the second reading of Sky and Sea themed. Yep. We're going to be rolling a D2 and seeing which one we pick.
D4 odds evens.
Yeah.
Just an odds evens roll to see if we get
which one we pick.
Clothing or
race. So two good ones.
Two good ones.
Two really good ones.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
Clothing got so many submissions.
I
thought clothing was going to be the one that got the least submissions.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, that's how it was going. Obviously, you see religion, culture, and faction, and I think a lot of people are hyped for it. The thing is, really hard to write for, I reckon.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot of actual having to really genuinely put time into it.
Yeah. And also, it's just that I think a lot of people like to, they take a moment, they see which ones get the most interest first, and they're like, I'm going to pay this one love. One that hasn't got it.
That's exactly
and I think a lot of people
clothing,
did that, but then clothing ended up getting the most because so many people did that.
I'm really excited. I really cannot wait to see what's in there. So yes, please join us this Sunday on stream, and we will read them out. And without any further ado, should we just get into it?
Oh my god, let's get into it.
Oh my gosh, let's get into it.
Me when I get into it?
Oh my god, get into it. All right? Get up and over it and into it.
Right, wipe your misty eyes. Yeah. Now get into it.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
What'd you think? Before we begin on topic, like, subscribe, comment, ring the bell. Everything that you do, all those little clicks of the mouse upon that like button help the video so much.
I'm tracking your mouse clicks. Oh my god.
I've got one of those things that tracks where your eyes go.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
My eyes are up here, by the way. My clogging time teacher is down here as well. www. Yeah, all the love that you show the video, we really appreciate it. But don't relent.
Oh my god.
Keep it up.
And just to reiterate, if you didn't catch what we said on Monday's episode, we are struggling a little bit for time. So instead of dropping down to one video a week, we're keeping them at 2. We're making them a little bit shorter.
We're doing about an hour each.
Last week, Mondays wasn't really that much shorter because we had to go over everything. We are very much looking for feedback. Do you still enjoy the 2 episodes that are slightly shorter, or would you prefer the 1 episode that's slightly longer? Please let us know. It's really important for us to know that.
Let us know your feedback because you're the ones that watch this.
Exactly. You know, we want to make sure we're doing things that you enjoy.
Yeah.
So.
Because I care about you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I care about you so much. Yeah.
What about that?
Yeah. Misty-eyed again. Oh, sorry.
www.
So, without any further ado.
Okay.
This is D&D. Am I the asshole?
Probably.
Bum, bum, bum. You know what? We have 2 submissions. I will say we have 2 submissions. And I will say, I know it's very hard to send your Am I the Asshole submissions in. I know it is. But please feel free to send them in.
Yeah.
The rest of them are just from the Reddit. I will let you know which one is which.
Which is which? Let's get it.
Shall we get into it? Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's you.
It's me.
You do the reading.
I do the reading. Sorry.
You're the one that does the reading.
I was waiting for you to do something.
Oh my god, okay. Number 1. Is that right?
Yes, thank you. Yes. Yeah. So this has been sent in by Anonymous, and she uses she, they pronouns.
Thank you very much, Anonymous.
Thank you, Anonymous. The title is, Am I the Arsehole for showing up to D&D without my friend's permission? In my first year of high school, most of my friends got into D&D, and I did too because of how much they would talk about it. They had all started a campaign a few weeks earlier, and I asked my friend if it was too late for me to join. Side note, this friend wasn't the DM, but I wasn't as close to the DM at the time, so I wasn't able to ask them directly. She told me that the group had already started, and you can't really add people in now. I accepted her answer, and I asked for her to let me know when they start the next campaign, so then I can join in. But she told me because of how little they play, it would be a really long time. A few weeks later, I learned that the weeks after I had asked to join and had been told no, the group added 2 new people. This hurt me a lot, so I started to just ignore whenever they would talk about D&D. Skip forward 3 years. Many campaigns have gone by, and I am now friends with the DM. He started talking to me about D&D and asked why I never joined the friendship group in the campaign. I told them the truth, and he invited me to be a spectator at their next session, and I accepted because I was still interested in playing. The next Thursday, I showed up to the session without telling anyone other than the DM that I was coming. When my friends saw me there. Thank you. When my friends saw me there, she was a little surprised at first, and then she proceeded to ignore me and glare at me the whole time. And when we were walking out, she asked me why I didn't tell her I was coming that night. Should I have gone to her to tell her I was going to be there?
No. I don't think so.
This is a really strange one.
I think the dungeon master maybe should have told some people,
definitely,
probably told everyone that there would be a spectator of the game.
Yeah,
because I know that would probably make some people uncomfortable. But is there a reason they didn't want you to play? Because they were like, "Oh no, you can't join." But also at the same time, you're not the judge, jury, and executioner on who joins. Isn't that up to the dungeon master and then the rest of the group?
Yeah, like
who joins? Because then 2 people joined.
Yeah, this is a really, really weird situation. Like, it's kind of hard for us to gauge. Obviously, not knowing your friend's relationship, not knowing like the ins and outs of it. It sounds to me that your friend didn't want you playing.
Yeah.
For some reason.
For whatever reason.
And kind of said, no, you can't come because it's too early.
Yeah.
But then again, at the same time...
Because it's not because it's too early, because it's too late.
Pardon me, because it's too late. But at the same time, I also understand, we don't know the context of which the other 2 people joined.
Yeah, true.
Like,
the dungeon master could have invited them.
Yeah, it very much sounds like OP doesn't know anyone apart from this
person, yeah.
And maybe it was a case of like, no, you like...
Maybe they didn't know, yeah.
We all know what it's like to have friendship groups, and it's like sometimes you don't want to intermingle those friendship groups for X, Y, Z reasons, right?
Yeah, and like it's tough, isn't it? We always say just because somebody's a good friend of yours doesn't mean they're going to be good to play D&D with.
Totally.
And like we've had situations like this where we've had great friends, but we played D&D with them, and they just don't really play the way that we like to play.
Yeah.
So maybe, I don't know, maybe they had an insight on that or something that they maybe didn't think you would have the same play style.
Maybe they just wanted to keep this
their thing,
but I also can't really get down with that.
No, I can't.
Because, I would want to share but then again, it's so personal. I would want to share my hobby with my friends, but that's a totally different thing. Like, you're asking the question, am I the arsehole for showing up without my friend's permission? I don't think you need your friend's permission to show up. However, I will say the fact you turned up unannounced and you only told the DM and the DM didn't tell anyone else, that is a bit of a feels bad.
Well, that's not OP's problem.
No, well,
that's the dungeon master's problem.
I'm kind of getting the vibe that OP intentionally, it's like OP says here, like, I only told the DM that I was going to come. Mm-hmm. I told without telling anyone other than DM that I was coming.
Let me hit you with a scenario.
Yes, go.
You've wanted to play D&D for ever at this point.
Yeah.
And for some reason, this friend doesn't want you to play for some reason.
Yeah, it sounds like that.
Yeah, it doesn't want you. So when you get the chance and you're offered by the DM to like come and have a sit-in to make sure, I think there's a part of me that wouldn't want to tell them either in case they were like, no. Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
I personally would tell them.
Okay.
I personally would be like, I don't give a fuck. I've been invited. I'm going to come along. You can't stop me. If everyone else has invited me, then you can't stop me coming.
Okay.
But that maybe that's me being pig-headed. But
I mean, yeah, maybe. But yeah, at the same time, it's just like, also at the same time, what's like on your behalf? If the dungeon master's offered me to come and spectate the game, I imagine that they've told the rest of the table that I'm coming to spectate.
Yeah, the only thing that throws me off is OP saying
I didn't tell
anyone other than the DM. Like that's the only thing that suggests to me that OP knew no one else knew.
Yeah.
In which case I say you need to. You absolutely categorically need to. My worst nightmare would be turning up somewhere where I know I'm not welcome.
And having you there.
No. Me turning up somewhere I know I'm not welcome and no one expecting me and then having to deal with the shock. Like that is my worst nightmare. I would never put myself in that position, you know?
I I think anyone's the asshole here.
No, I think this is
just a massive breakdown in communication.
Yeah.
And people maybe not communicating what they really feel. And
the DM says, like, hey, why did you never join our D&D games? Which suggests to me that actually the problem lies in with the friend.
The friend.
Like,
I can see a scenario here where the DM's gone, does this person not want to play?
Yeah, and they're like, nah.
And they're like, nah. And then they're like, oh, okay. And then they ask them, and then they're like, yeah, I really wanted to. And then they're like,
same.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
that's the vibe I'm getting as well.
But also, that's assuming makes an ass out of you and me.
Yeah, indeed. We don't know the full picture.
We don't know the full picture, but because we don't have the full picture, all we can do is assume here.
Yeah.
And that's sort of the vibe I'm getting.
That's kind of the vibe I'm getting
That's
as
kind
well.
of weird. Like, the thing is, like, that's the thing. It's just like, if we've just started a campaign, like, and somebody maybe didn't know, and they're like, oh, man, I would really love to have played. Like, why are we getting them in? Like, unless the Dungeon Master's like, I only want this many people, and
yes,
and,
I very much agree.
There's reasons, but I don't know. I'm just getting weird vibes from the friend.
Yeah, me too. No, I don't think OP's the asshole. I think
staring at them the entire session
and glaring at them.
Like,
yeah, man. Anyone glares at me, I'm dying.
My face when you turn up at my D&D session unannounced. What do you think?
I would want the ground to swallow me up and eat me. I would hate that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm a firm believer of you need to tell the group that people are coming.
Yeah.
Like, you have
That's
to.
on the Dungeon Master,
Yeah,
I think.
I agree. You have to tell
it's
them
not
that.
Up to, I don't think it's up to somebody who's not in the party, never played with the group before, to go around and tell everyone that they're going to be there.
Yeah.
That's on the Dungeon Master.
Yeah, it just feels like this was some, like, weird undercover,
like this is my thing and I don't want to share it with you sort of thing.
Really strange.
Almost like gatekeeping.
I agree. I do, unfortunately. And
weird.
The thing is, I do very much understand not wanting someone to be part of something that you really enjoy. I understand, like, the feeling of, oh, we have a great dynamic. If we add someone else in, it will ruin it. I very much understand that. But
I think you gotta explain that, though.
I agree.
Not just like, no.
Yeah, I agree. I very much agree. Yeah, very strange.
Very weird and
very
strange.
Weird, very weird. No.
Very weird and strange.
Yeah, what do you think? Or maybe, are we just, like, reading this wrong, chat?
Well, we can only read...
Sorry.
Join us on Twitch, baby.
Sorry.
Join us on Twitch. There's a lot of fucking interaction with chat going on in there. But we can only assume, because we only have half the information.
Yeah.
Because this person never clearly communicated to OP
I agree.
as to why they didn't want them to come. Because other people joined the party basically at the exact same time. So that was a lie. Yeah. So then what's the real reason?
Yeah, I agree.
Unless OP was just like, I think that's the case.
Yeah. I mean, the only other thing I can think of is, you know, and, you know, this really is just me pushing the boat out here, that OP is maybe the problem player and people don't want them involved.
Maybe.
But, like, you know, and like that.
But how can you be a problem player when you've never played before?
And, and how could you even know that if you haven't been told?
And also, like, at the point where the two players turn up the next session, the two new players, so it's not too late. If you really, really wanted your friend to join, you would go, oh, is it all right if people join? Because I've got a friend who really wants to join.
Yeah.
But they didn't do that.
I agree.
So I don't get it.
I agree.
There's obviously something
strange, yeah.
But we
OP,
just
no,
won't know.
I don't think you're the asshole. I really hope you got that sorted.
Yeah, let us know.
I hope, to be fair, I hope that you did enjoy playing with them.
Yeah.
Like, I really hope you did.
If you got the chance, because obviously I only know that you spectated.
And you know what? So strange. Also being like, how little we play. It'll be such a long time.
Yeah.
Really weird.
Just excuses.
Yeah, that's quite strange.
It's weird, that,
yeah.
Isn't it?
What do you think?
What do you think?
I'd like to know. I'd like to know your opinion on that.
Tell me down in the comments below.
I did the worst Twitch streamer thing the other day.
Oh, baby, you did.
I called my friends on voice chat.
Yeah, but we just finished the Pokemon stream, and we were like playing some WoW on the night and stuff. And you called Jordan and Jack.
Wabs. I called them chat.
You called them chat. I mean, when you're sat the entire day talking to chat, because on stream we do. Like, most of our stream interaction is a lot of just us talking to chat.
Yeah.
Just, like, you know, hanging out and fucking shooting the shit and stuff like that. So as soon as you come away from that, it's just like a knee-jerk.
Yeah. I hope I never do that in real life. God, I'd rather die.
Time to chat.
Oh, man. Yeah, so anyway, no, not the asshole. No, I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. All right, so this has been sent in by Anon, and he uses he, him, Lord, Lordess, and her, but not she. Pronouns.
Very good. Thank you very much.
I would only like to be called Lord.
I would like to be called Lord.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lord Squad Blaster.
Yeah.
Lord Cloggington.
Yeah. So the title is, Am I the Arsehole for wanting my teammate to read his character sheet? I, 27 male, started playing D&D a few years ago with my friends. That group didn't pan out for multiple reasons, but the main one from my understanding is that trying to deal with 4 newbie players with a lack of commitment was too stressful for our DM friend. Friend.
Fair dues, yeah.
I learned a lot from that campaign, but the main thing was, no matter how much I know about D&D, my character or my allies' characters, I shouldn't tell them how to play.
Yeah.
So I've never done that, and I vowed I never would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I think there's times where you can remind somebody of something.
Totally.
Like, let's just say they're getting destroyed by fire damage, and it turns out they've forgotten that they've got a ring of fire resistance.
Yeah,
and you go,
absolutely.
Just so you know, you're resistant to fire damage. That's fine.
It all matters about your intent, I think.
But if you're like, don't do that, do this.
Exactly.
That's not fair.
If you just want to look out for someone, like that's complete, especially a new player, that's probably welcomed, right? But it's about your intent.
It's about your intent.
A year after that, I started paying to play D&D because it fixes the commitment issues. And now I have a new group that I've enjoyed playing with. Enough backstory. I know enough about D&D to be an effective power gamer, but I hate abusing mechanics, so I tend to play weaker characters that focus more on support and utility, and that worked really well during our second campaign I played because my party was full of experienced players.
Okay.
But in my third campaign, our most experienced player was traded out for the boyfriend of or best friend. Boyfriend, I'm assuming. Does anyone get confused when you see BF? Are you like, is that best friend or boyfriend? I don't know.
It's a potential best friend boyfriend situation.
Yeah, best friend boyfriend. For the BF of one of our players who's playing his first campaign with us.
Awesome. Now,
this isn't a problem most of the time, but sometimes I hate it. And the most frequent issue is his lack of knowledge on how his character works. He is playing a Dragonborn barbarian, and during one of our combats, we're fighting a DM made artificer.
Yeah, a dungeon master made artificer.
Yes. The artificer was a pretty good counter to the party, but we should still have won. I'm not perfect, I make mistakes, but I always try to use my turn effectively. In contrast, the new character almost forgets to use rage on his first turn, doesn't use reckless attack throughout the fight, and refuses to use his breath weapon in situations where he can't close the gap between him and the ranged enemy. Admittedly, the opponent was a higher level of difficulty than I would expect for an average fight, but we still should have won without anyone being unalived. But guess who ends up in that situation? The DM had to give him a thematically free life, and it feels like he's taking away from the experience of the game. Why does he have 13 AC, insists on not using a shield, has unarmored defense with only 1 point in dex and 2 in con, and doesn't use his breath weapon regularly? And how do I approach the topic without seeming that I'm being mean or like I'm trying to control how he plays? I love his character and I enjoy him as a person, but I need him to reach a basic understanding of how his character works.
Okay. You are the asshole.
I agree.
I'm just going to say is you are the asshole. So, we need to, as players of this game, welcome in with open arms, tender nurture and love and care these new players, because they don't understand yet. They'll understand in the future, and we can give them nudges and hints in the right direction, but just being mad with someone because they, like, look, Margaret built her barbarian and it had its second highest score in charisma, like the first time she played. We don't get it. And there was a time where you didn't get it. And if I think somebody treated you like the way that you are talking about this person, I think you would probably feel quite bad.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what? I feel like you're saying he refuses to do this. He's refusing to do that.
Is he refusing?
Does he just not know?
Or does he just not know?
Why has he built it like this? Why is he not raging? Why is he not recklessing? Oh my God. I was in exactly the same issue, by the way. Very first character I ever played, a tiefling barbarian, a frenzy barbarian who still used the exhaustion rules when you raged. It was brutal. It was really bad. I built her horribly. Her stats were all in the wrong place. I am not kidding you. Her stats were exactly like this. I had 1 in con. I didn't even have 2 in con.
No, 1 in con.
I had 4 in charisma. Like, you know, it was horrible. And I forgot all the time I had reckless attack. Everyone had to remind me consistently I had reckless attack.
Do you want to reckless that?
Yeah, and like, do you know why? It's because I was a new player who I had never seen any of these things ever before. I'd never played this class before. Now, oh my God, if I'm a barbarian, I'm reckless every single time.
And the first thing I do is raging.
Oh my God, exactly.
Look, as well, I'm going to be totally honest. I know it doesn't really matter, but the fucking draconic... The breath of a Dragonborn stinks. Unless it's the 1 D&D version where it's a little bit better. It's fucking shit. Yeah. So I wouldn't use it either. I'd probably just chuck a javelin. But the thing is, right, it's like you and I, OP, we understand how the game works. We understand the fundamentals of how the game works. Yeah. But that's because we played for a long time.
Totally.
Did I understand that there's a round of setup where I need to get X online because then I won't take X amount of damage? And, you know, it's just like breaking down the fundamentals of the game in combat as you've got an action, a bonus action, movement, and a reaction every turn, and like we need to use them in a certain order to maximize X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
That's a concept that for a lot of people, their brains aren't analytical like that. Their brains don't work in that sort of like, I need to get this up because then when this happens, I do more of this. That's like a specific way of thinking.
Yeah, totally.
It might not be for you, and it might not be for me, and it might not be for probably, I would say, 75% of this community, but there is 25% who just they either don't understand it or they just don't care.
Yeah, 100%. Or they just learn differently than
and it just takes time. Yeah.
And the thing is, I learn very differently. I have to be so specific about the way I learn information, and it's a plague. It's horrible. It's a curse. I hate it. I hate the way I have to learn. But I have to learn literally through reading and reprocessing and creating physical things. Maybe this person, like I create for every single one of my characters a sheet. I print out. I have exactly everything I can do, lined, bullet pointed, so I know that I have it. It could be a case that he just fucking forgets. Yeah. You know?
And like, look, for some people, like, it's just not their priority as well. Like, I'm like, take Ashley Johnson. Ashley Johnson, fucking God bless, we love her. She's the fucking best. She still messes things up, and she's been playing since campaign 1 of Critical Role. She still, like, by the end of the campaign, doesn't fully, really, truly maybe understand exactly the minutiae of how her class should work. She gets things wrong. But, like, look at the way Matt Mercer, like, helps her. He doesn't tell her. He just, like, gently reminds her, just like, did you want to do this? And she's like, oh, yeah, I did. It's not because she's a bad player.
No, and it's not because she doesn't want to as well.
As a role player and as a character.
Ashley Johnson's the best of all of us. Let's be real.
She's amazing. Like, Fern, like... Ashley Johnson's been let loose with Fern and is the best character she's ever made, and the community fucking loves her because she's just amazing at playing. But in terms of combat, she isn't the most combat-minded person. Does it mean she's any less of a player? No. Does she need a little bit of help from Matt now and then? Yeah, but he knows that, and he's happy to offer it to that. So be the Matthew Mercer to this person's Ashley Johnson.
Yeah.
Don't like be angry at this person. Just be like, did you want to rage before you do that? Like, if they forget, let's just say they did it a few times in a row, and then they don't rage in this circumstance. Just give them that gentle reminder. Just be like, you don't have to, but were you going to rage? And then they go, oh, fuck yeah, thanks for reminding me. Done.
Yeah,
like,
and like the thing
helping.
is, like, you can tell how frustrated you are. And the thing is, you're being so conscious by being like, I don't want to be mean. How do I tell them this without controlling them? And I think you're getting so caught up in like not wanting to tell them what to do. You're actually kind of leaving them worse off.
Yeah,
because
100%.
you're worried about saying anything in case you upset them. And you know, you're using language like, you know, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes, but I always try to use my tone effectively. And you saying that kind of suggests that you think that
they
this
aren't
player aren't doing it. And you know, you're saying here like, why aren't they doing this? I just want them to have a basic understanding of how their character work. And the thing is, when you get into things like, why do they have 13 AC? Why are their points here? Why are they not using unarmored defense? Like, that actually isn't a basic understanding, I don't think. I think that is actually, you know, definitely not like an advanced level, but that is further than basic.
Somebody who understands the game. Like, do you think if Margaret, when she first made a character, would have picked a tiefling with a +2 in charisma as a barbarian? No. But she didn't know, so that's why she did it.
I simply just didn't know, yeah.
I think... I can't remember what I was going to say.
Sorry.
No. You don't have to say sorry. I just forget things. Yeah, I just think, like, being on this person's side and helping them and just giving them a friendly reminder. And then when you do give them a friendly reminder, just be like, you don't mind me like just reminding you of that, do you?
Yeah, totally.
And if they're like, no, thanks, like I really need it.
Yeah.
Because look, that's what I was gonna say. A barbarian who's not raging is being ineffective.
Yes, definitely.
Like, it's literally the core mechanic of the class.
Absolutely.
It's like a rogue who's not getting sneak attack.
Absolutely.
Like you're basically not using the things that you've got at your disposal to play the class effectively.
Yeah.
But these people may not know how to use the class effectively. And they might just need you to put an arm around them and be like, do you need some help? Like, I can help you. I can remind you if you forget something. Is that okay? Would you like me to help that?
Totally,
I could maybe make you a little sheet for you to like, a little cheat sheet.
Exactly. Like, you know, I think you're saying like, am I the arsehole for wanting him to read his character sheet? It actually sounds like it's much deeper than that.
It's much deeper than that.
And I think you're getting annoyed by things that could actually be very easily solved if you just gave him a helping hand.
100%.
And I understand, by the way, Anon, and we're not trying to dogpile on you here, but like, I understand when you're playing with experienced players and you're paying to be there. I understand.
It is a little bit different.
It is frustrating when you bring in a new player, right? But I'm assuming everyone agreed. Everyone agreed to having this new player. I'm assuming. You know, DM said having a new player, we're switching it out. Everyone went, cool, yep, great. You know, you accepted that. And I just think, you know, you're saying here, I'm on my 3rd campaign just with this group. And this is their 1st campaign.
Yeah.
Like, we have to remember
who we were when we started.
Exactly.
And like this is, oh man, I've got to say again.
I'm so sorry. It's because I'm interrupting you.
No, you're not. You're not interrupting me. You don't need to apologize. I just keep forgetting. Because like I keep interjecting into your points because I'm like, yeah, she's making a great point. Yeah. And then I'm like, what was I going to say? Basically, yeah, I completely agree with you. Like, this person's new, and we need to give them the grace of being a new player. Like, you might have played 3 campaigns at this point, but they haven't.
Yeah,
they've played maybe. That's what I was going to say.
Go on.
And also, you're like, man, like they've give them a narrative second life. It's their 1st campaign. It's their 1st character. Like, maybe if it was you, it would be different because you're on your 3rd character. But this person still doesn't know how to like work their character effectively as a barbarian. So do you think that killing them now and making them make another character is going to help? I don't think that's going to help at all.
Yeah.
That's going to make the situation worse.
Agreed.
Give this person the benefit of the doubt. It's their 1st character. The DM not killing them off is probably a good thing.
Yeah.
For them, you, and everybody in the party.
Yeah, totally.
It doesn't mean it's going to happen to you, and it's not taking anything away from your game that this character didn't die.
Yeah, totally. You know, how would you talk to this player? Say, hey, your class has a lot of stuff. You have a lot of things to remember. You have your rage, you have your reckless. Like, I've noticed that, you know, you could be using an armored defense, so you'd get higher AC. Like, do you want me to sit down and go through this stuff with you? Like, would you like me to, like, just remind you? Because, hey, you know, I was new as well. And I know what it's like to forget things.
That's what you should do.
That's how you should open the conversation. You know, kind of not being... I understand being frustrated. You're so valid in feeling frustrated, by the way. You really, really are.
I don't know if you're as valid as Margaret's saying.
No, I think you're valid in being frustrated. You know, I can.
Don't agree with that.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Like, I think it's actually quite unfair that you're this annoyed with a new player because they don't know how to use their character that effectively.
Yeah, and again, what is basic to you is certainly not basic to
It's not, yeah.
player.
It's like, that's the thing. It's like when people start playing World of Warcraft with us, and we're like trying to explain all these things, it's just like they don't even understand how to move with the WASD key that you can move if you click both mouse buttons down. It's like these things that we just know because we've done something for so long, like we take for granted. When these new players don't get that.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, definitely. Give them a bit of grace.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like you've extended too much grace so far. Give them a bit of grace and just give them a helping hand.
Help them.
You can totally help them without controlling them. I promise.
100%.
You just need to show that you care and that you want to help as opposed to tell them what to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And sometimes I think potentially you're projecting a little bit by being like, you know, I'm scared about controlling them because maybe there's a part of you that thinks it would be easier if you did.
Or just maybe don't play with new players.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Totally.
Maybe that's just who you are. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing like wrong with just saying like maybe I'll step back for a little bit until you like get into the full swing of the game, but I'm just not great with having new players around me.
Totally.
Like that might be a way to deal with it. If it frustrates you and upsets you. Like, maybe that's what you should do.
Agreed.
Which is also totally fine.
Yeah. You know, a lot of the language in this was, he just needs to do this. He keeps forgetting to do that. It's basic. I just want him to read his character sheet. I would just maybe rethink the language you use and why you're using it. Because again, the curse of knowledge, you come from a place of knowing all this knowledge. And 100%. Just think about where you were as a beginner.
I agree.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you so much for your submission, Anon. I hope that helps. I really does.
Yeah.
And I hope you can find a way to go forward together.
Yeah,
where,
I agree. I hope that
this person can learn more effectively, you know? Because it doesn't sound like it's happening. I agree. Now. Yeah. All right. All the other ones are Reddit ones. Hello. Oh my goodness, we look different. Yeah. Listen, different day for us. We ran out of time. Yep. We didn't realize the time that day. And we ran out of it. Yeah, you know what we were saying in Monday's episode about not having a lot of time? That was case in point. Yeah, case in point. But it's okay because we're filming it today. We're here. So listen, we look different. Yeah, we definitely do. But what, it's the same old me. Yeah. Oh my God. Get over it, huh? Stop pointing it out. So we actually did read this out before, but then that's when we had to cut it off. So I'm just gonna, you haven't seen it, so I'm reading it again. And I can't remember. No, not I can. You know what I'm like. I can barely remember the points that I'm making in the moment. Yeah, no, so I can't remember what happened on Saturday or whatever it was, or Sunday. No clue. Not a single thought. So I guess, hey, I don't know where we last left off with you, but so let's rip it. This is the next one. This is Am I the Asshole from the Reddit? Okay. You know that. So here's me like, wasn't it horror and awesome? So the title of this is, Am I the asshole for blowing up at my husband because he counted his work on our D&D game as one of his chores? I, 35 female, and my husband, 35 male, have been together for 10 years, blissfully happy, no notes. Over COVID, we got into Dungeons and Dragons. We have a weekly game that runs from 3 to 4 hours with 3 other friends. 5 of us have been going on adventures for the past few years, meeting consistently over Zoom. I have been having a great time overall. Awesome. My husband is the DM, which means he does a lot of preparing for the sessions. This includes coming up with the characters we're going to have the conversations with, figuring out the battles we're going to fight, and so on and so forth. I really appreciate all his hard work. On the other hand, I've been feeling like I've been doing more chores in our partnership. I cook a lot, I clean the kitchen, I help with the laundry, I do most of the driving. We tried splitting chores before. There was a period of time where he would fold the laundry, I'll do cleaning while I cooked. Clucked? Clucking? My clucking time. We're clucking in the kitchen. Time. What does a cluck sound like? Oh my God, let's go. I realize you're not wearing a Clucking Time t-shirt. I'm not. Now that we're talking about Clucking Time. It's today, isn't it? It's the launch. It's the launch. It's the launch of the Clucking Time merch. Go and pick one up at www.eldritchpodblast.co.uk. Which I've definitely done. Yeah, which you're doing right now. Right now, probably. He would fold the laundry or do cleaning while I cooked, but it didn't last beyond a week or two. I normally don't particularly mind, but life has been especially shit lately due to health issues in the family, and I think it's put some extra stress on us. So the other day I cooked dinner. During dinner, he was giving me a sneak peek of the magical items he made for the blacksmith in the new town, and I guess I didn't look as excited, so he asked me why. I said, I'll be excited when you clean up the kitchen after we are done eating. This started a major argument, and we don't really have many of those, so it was a bit intense. About how I don't appreciate his work on this campaign. I countered by saying he's free to work on his hobbies as much as he wants to, but it's not the same thing as helping me out with chores. To this, he countered that his work on the D&D campaign counts as a chore, just like cooking and cleaning. He said he's providing a space for hanging out with our friends every single week. In a way, he is organizing and scheduling our social life, and that takes a lot of work. I thought this was an absolutely bonkers perspective. This is where things really escalated because I was sort of befuddled. I still am. And he got... Me when I'm befuddled? Me, oh my God, me when I befuddle you? Me when my fuddle gets butted? And he got really hurt. He did say, the fact that you're asking this shows you don't understand how much work I put into this campaign. For the record, I did run a leg of the campaign as the DM for a few weeks, and it was a lot of work. But it was a hobby, at least to me. It was a fun thing I elected to do, not something I needed to do like a chore. He pointed out that I don't need to cook either. We can afford to eat out every night and hire a cleaning service for sorting out the apartment. He is not wrong. We can afford it, but it felt weird. I eventually let it go. I feel like I'm going to need some sort of resolution to this because I can feel the resentment bubbling in my chest. I don't want to win an argument. I'm not looking for vindication, but can someone please give me an insight into this conflict? Am I wrong? Am I being an asshole here? Thank you.
Oh man, this is such a complicated one.
Yeah,
this is such a complicated one because it mixes like relationship dynamics and
D&D
and D&D.
Yeah,
and the one thing that I want to like touch on before like we get into like relationship dynamics or anything like that is the bit where they say...
Sorry, when you said that, it reminded me for some reason of the TikTok. I thought you were just going to go, witch!
Witch!
Sorry.
Is the bit where they say, like, I ran it for a couple of sessions and I saw it as a hobby, not a chore. It's just like, that's what every Dungeon Master feels like in the first honeymoon period of the campaign.
Yeah.
Like, when it's just like, and especially not knowing that you have to do it for a long time, like, you're like, well, it's going to be over in 2 or 3 weeks, so it doesn't really matter, and I'm really excited and it's really cool. But, like, you know, as campaigns go on, like, look, I'm a forever Dungeon Master. I love being a Dungeon Master. I fucking hate planning. That time spent planning is the most boring thing I could ever think of, in my opinion. Yeah. I hate planning.
And you know what? That's so strange that you say, like, the hobby bit, you know, where she says, oh, they say, sorry, I don't necessarily know. Oh, no, yeah, she says female.
Yeah.
She says, it was a hobby, at least to me. That's also the point that I wanted to touch on.
Yeah.
Because but from a different perspective of, yeah, like, totally, it was a hobby to you. But that doesn't mean that it's just a hobby to everyone.
Yeah.
I actually think OP has kind of settled the whole thing here, right? Because I think all anyone is going to say really is, yeah, well, to you it's not a hobby. To you it's a hobby, but to him it obviously isn't.
And you're in two different seats at that point. It's just like somebody who knows it's going to be over immediately, is only doing it for a week or two, and doesn't have to think about long-term plans and like not want to, like, as a Dungeon Master, you got to think of like fresh things all the time, because you don't want to go to a new place and it just be the same as the old place, because then it feels bad. It's like keeping it fresh as a Dungeon Master is hard.
Yeah.
And like keeping the story moving at the same time and integrating people's backstories and when to do it and running BBEGs. It's like as a like small section of the campaign, you don't have to think about any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So like that doesn't weigh heavy on your mind. So comparing your experience from like 1, 2, 3, however long sessions it was, to a Dungeon Master who could be doing it for what sounds like years at this point.
Yeah.
Two completely different perspectives.
And again, you know, like, to be fair, OP even acknowledges, says like, I did it for a few weeks and it was a lot of work.
It's a fucking unbelievable amount of work.
It is. And like, the thing is, I can see this as a D&D player, but I can also see this as a partner.
As a partner,
right?
Yeah, in a relationship with somebody who is a Dungeon Master.
Totally. I can genuinely see it from both perspectives.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, OP says that he made a point being like, this is a chore because I'm providing a space for everyone to hang out. I'm organizing our social plans. And I think, you know, how old did OP say she was? She said she's 35 and they're both 35, right? I think that generation, that like the older millennials, I don't want to say the boomers, but the older millennials.
Yeah.
Like, we were taught, even us generation of millennials, we were taught that any free time you have is a hobby. Anything you have outside of work is bad and it's not.
You aren't making money, so
you're not being productive.
Yeah.
And I get the vibe I get is that unfortunately OP is kind of still tied down by those societal weights.
Yeah.
And not thinking that actually self-care and having time with your friends is a really important pillar of your life.
Super important. Like, I think me and you realized this.
Yeah, we did.
And like, you know, we're in a period right now where we haven't sort of played D&D for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm feeling it.
Same. No, me too.
Like,
yeah,
I'm feeling it.
We haven't seen our friends because we see our friends
every week, usually, without doubt.
D&D.
But you know, like, life gets in the way and stuff like that, and people have gone on holiday. So we've sort of just taken like a couple of week break.
Yeah,
I'm feeling it.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm like desperate to get back.
Yeah, I know, me too. I
can't wait.
I just miss seeing my friends.
I just miss hanging out with my friends and just having a laugh and a good time.
Same. And I feel like you don't really realize how important that stuff is until it goes. And you know, OP mentions that they started playing in COVID, and the thing is, again, I feel like in COVID, that is really when the shackles came off.
For a lot of people.
Don't get me wrong, COVID was a horrendous, awful, debilitating, terrible time for a lot of people.
For a huge amount of people. Yeah.
It was the worst time of our lives. However, that pause in everyday life, that pause in, oh my God, I actually have free time.
Like, this is why people look back on that time fondly, and I understand for a lot of people that's a strange thing. But when you go to school, you come straight out of school, you go to college, you come straight out of that, you do like an apprenticeship, you get a 9-to-5 job, you've worked every weekday of your life. The only time you ever get off is when you have like a week holiday or something, like a 2-week holiday when you go abroad or something like that. For a lot of people, that's the first time ever they were just sat at home with time.
Yeah.
And they were like, I can do all the hobbies I've ever wanted to do.
Yeah, and I can actually really enjoy them without feeling guilty.
Because us millennials, oh my god,
the guilt we feel.
The guilt we feel when we aren't being productive. Oh my god.
Same, me too.
When I stopped working a full-time job and I went self-employed, 4 years ago, if I wasn't doing 5 days of work,
same.
Because sometimes when you're self-employed, there's not 5 days worth of work to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's more than that.
Yeah.
But sometimes there's a little bit less.
Yeah.
And then when I was like, I need to do something because I can't take an extra day off because then I'm not being productive.
The guilt would kill you.
We're so like shaped into that form.
We are,
it's
definitely.
Insane.
And that kind of pulls it back round to where OP says, he says, this is a chore. Organizing time for us to hang out with our friends is a chore. I completely agree.
100%.
But I fully understand
why
OP doesn't think
she
it is.
doesn't understand, yeah.
Of course,
I get it.
Of course I do.
Now, to get into the relationship side of it, the thing is, me and you were in this situation.
Yeah.
And
he's the forever DM.
I'm the forever DM. I block time out on a Monday or a Tuesday.
Yeah.
To be like, this is when I plan Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, our whole schedule is based around, because I can't be normal about anything. I have to have a routine and a schedule. We block out time for everything, and we have time for chores.
Yeah,
and we block out time. There's so many times I come to you and I go, okay, when you planning D&D?
When are you planning Dungeons and Dragons?
Because when you plan D&D, I will either plan the episodes, I will do the cleaning if we have to do it on the same day, I will do the cleaning. It's very much you have to do this thing.
Yeah, it's a chore. It's a chore. If I don't do it, then we don't have the session, which means we don't see how we're friends.
Yeah, the D&D player in me now, I can understand all the relationship, but the D&D player in me understands if the DM doesn't prepare, even just has an idea of what's going on. Listen, the DM has to prep in some way.
In some way, even if it's mental prep.
Just thinking about it.
If it's just for me, just battle maps. If we're gonna have a fight, NPCs that you might meet, like speeches that might happen, things like that. That's still things that I need to plan.
Yeah, there has to be. Otherwise, there's no direction, and it not leads to a bad session. But do you know what I mean?
Well, it can do. It can. For some dungeon masters, they can just rip it nothing planned, and it's a brilliant time.
Yeah.
But some campaigns, like mine's quite a conceptual campaign where I probably need to plan something if we're going somewhere new.
Definitely.
And a lot of the time we are going somewhere new.
Definitely. So. There has to be planning.
Yeah.
And planning can take upwards of a few hours.
It could take from 1 hour to 3 hours for me.
And you know what? The thing is, I do kind of feel like, I don't know. It's hard. It's so hard to speculate on someone else's relationship. But I actually think the D&D planning and the not doing chores are not correlated. Okay. I think...
Yeah, no, I agree. Like the thing is, if you're gonna plan D&D, and you need to block time out for it, you should block time out for it to be like, this is when I plan D&D.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you then don't do chores.
Yeah, exactly. I genuinely don't think they're correlated. Because I think he just doesn't want to do chores.
Yeah, because I plan D&D and I still do chores.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do the cooking and a lot of the cleaning.
I do the washing up.
Yeah.
Usually the kitchen's my domain.
Yeah.
I never clean the bedroom.
No,
that's where you.
Yeah, I'll do the laundry and the folding the clothes.
I don't like the bedroom.
Well, I don't like the bathroom, so you don't like the bathroom.
I do the bathroom.
Exactly.
So it's just you as in a relationship, there's things that you're better at.
Yeah.
Or just things that you like doing more.
Yeah.
I the cooking and the washing up doesn't really seem like that big of a deal to me. But to you, getting your hands wet and touching all the food and stuff like that, you couldn't possibly.
I couldn't possibly. No, I couldn't possibly.
Looking at a pile of clothes and being I need to sort through that. That makes me. That just makes me so sad.
Yeah, and
I look at it and I'm like,
Also, you also have to think we're in a completely different position to OP and her husband because we work from home. So a lot of the work that we can do, if you're doing D&D planning or if you're doing chores, I am 9 times out of 10 doing work for the podcast.
Doing work for the podcast.
Like, I'm either planning the podcast, I'm doing stuff for the stream, I'm researching things, I'm scripting, I'm like, you know what I mean? There's always a give and take. And I think the lack of give and take in this relationship, because clearly there is.
Yeah.
I think from both perspectives, like, I don't think it's correlated.
No, I
think it's a separate thing.
I think she needs to understand that planning is a charm.
It has to be scheduled in.
He needs to do a little bit more around the house.
Yeah, I very much agree.
And that's just a breakdown in communication.
Totally.
Where, like,
100%.
Where there's pent up, like, not disdain, but there's pent up, like...
Well, yeah, she says resentfulness.
Yeah, it's like there's pent up... Well, yeah, well, let's use that word. There's pent up disdain, like, for each other because they don't see each other's perspective.
Totally.
And instead of communicating about it and just, like, saying what they mean, and when they finally say it, they're not able to see it rationally because they're so mad about the things that they've bottled up for so long.
Yeah, I very much agree. I think it's, it's a really interesting one. Being,
and it's, like, it's fucking tough.
Being, like, pretty much exactly in this situation of you're the forever DM, I'm the player, I play in your game, we play every week, and then we also have to navigate chores together. Like, I think it's a really interesting one, and I'd be really interested, like, for you who are in a similar dynamic, regardless if you're not in a similar dynamic. What do you think? I think there's a million different ways you could look at this.
And as a man, like, I'll say this now, like, for the longest time, I was a terrible communicator.
Yeah.
I was a dreadful communicator.
Yeah.
Like, if I felt anything, like, negative towards Margaret for any reason, I'd be like, I couldn't tell her because that's mean. But actually, what I did was I made the situation worse by not telling her. Yeah. So now, if I feel anything, like, because most of the time it's a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what you said is making me feel this way.
Yeah.
And then you're like, no, that's not what I meant. I meant it like this.
Yeah.
And then it just immediately breaks that down.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we can usually overcome those things pretty quickly now.
Just by communicating. I very, very much agree.
I agree. Yeah. I've gotten a lot better at it.
No, you have, but you've had to put work into that.
Oh my God, it's so hard.
Yeah, it is so hard.
Like, just saying my feelings immediately
it's hard.
when I feel them, it shouldn't be that hard, but it is.
Yeah, and again, it's hard for you because you were told your whole life you're not supposed to do that.
Let's not talk about emotions.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And it's hard for me because my whole life I've been doing those things, but I've been told I'm crazy for doing that. Yeah. You know, like, it's a society problem, not 100%. Not a you or me.
No. It's not a you or a me problem, but it's just like, is it like for my fellow men out there? Yeah. For my fellow homies.
Yeah.
Like, if you're in a relationship, you need to just say what you're feeling.
Yeah, totally.
Because,
agreed.
Being able to, like, say it out loud and then maybe understand why you feel that way.
Yeah.
And maybe even just realizing that there's been a breakdown in communication and that wasn't what somebody meant or something like that is usually the key to figuring something out before it gets way worse.
Yeah, and sometimes just being able to acknowledge your feeling and acknowledge you're feeling something. Yeah. Sometimes that's the problem. 100%. Sometimes the whole problem is not being able to acknowledge you have a feeling. You can acknowledge it, then you can let it go. Yeah. You know, like it's
just like saying it out loud makes it so much easier to let go of.
Agreed. I very, very, very much agree. Very much agree. So, do I think that OP is an asshole? No, I don't think so. I think this is very much a huge lack of communication.
I think that it's everyone sucks here, but also no one's the asshole here.
I agree. I agree.
You're both slightly in the wrong, but you're both very much in the right in the way that you feel.
Agreed.
But the problem is you haven't communicated it, so we've just got to this point.
I agree very much so. What do you think? I feel like there's going to be so many different opinions on that. I would like to know.
I agree.
Yeah, I would really like to know.
I agree.
Right. Well, this is the last. Wild. I don't know how many are in this episode.
5?
Yeah.
5?
I don't know.
5.
I have no clue. So,
4.
This is simply titled A Player Left, and I'm happy about it.
Let's fucking go.
Basically, after months of Forever DM nagging, especially towards me, he left the table first, blaming me for it, but after others called him out on his behavior, he changed his tone to, well, we all messed up here.
Interesting.
Yesterday was the first session without him as a player or a spectator. Our characters were actually discussing plans and what they think about the situation. They were joking around with each other, even as players did. Even us as players did. Other players were more active, as if feeling that they can finally talk freely.
Let's go.
I asked the DM later if he had fun, since he really needed some relaxing time, and he confirmed he did. The doors were left open for the ex-player so he can sort his things out in his life, especially because he's a long-time online friend of the DM. But I caught myself thinking that part of me doesn't want him back. Is it bad of me to think this? I don't want to hurt the DM's feelings, and I want that ex-player to get into a better headspace, but I can't help but feeling like it was so much more fun without him.
I have been in this situation.
Yeah, so have I. Yeah.
I have been in this situation where I've had a player or players leave the table after a long time, and it felt like a weight and shackles were like lifted off the campaign.
I agree very much so.
I could be exactly who I wanted to be.
Yeah.
Other players could roleplay exactly that we wanted to roleplay. The Dungeon Master didn't have to worry about X, Y, and Z, and the game just felt better.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with feeling that way, and I think what you need to do in this situation, if somebody takes a break from the campaign, but when they're out there, when they're gone, everything seems better, because the same thing is, you just might be looking at it through rose-tinted goggles in that moment, being like, God, I feel so much better, and I can feel that everyone else feels better.
Yeah, totally.
Everyone else might just be feeling the exact same.
Yeah.
But you need to vocalize your opinions. You need to just say, like, look, I know that we're on about this person coming back, but just be honest and be like, I would prefer it if they didn't.
Yeah.
Like, and, you know, but I don't speak for the whole table.
Yeah, totally.
I only speak for myself. But I just want you to know that that's exactly the way I feel. I will accept them back if they come back in a better headspace. But at the minute, I just love the table as it is. What do you all think?
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Like, I think we're so hardwired to feel like any time that we... The guilt, right? I think we're so hardwired to feel guilt about these things. But it is so valid if someone has been, it sounds like a nightmare, right?
An absolute
People
nightmare.
have had to call this person out multiple times.
Yeah.
The DM had to consistently nag them to stop.
Yeah.
Like, you know, all signs point to something for a reason. And feeling relief that this person has left is so valid.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like OP's clearly like, God, am I in the wrong for thinking this? No, of course you're not. If there's someone, regardless if they're intentionally doing it or not, someone making you feel bad, it's very human and normal to be happy that they're gone. Like, that's a given, right? And, you know, the thing is, even being like, I want them to come back in a better headspace. Like, again, like, I feel like OP's feeling guilty for kind of no reason.
Feeling guilty for wanting what they want.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if somebody has been a nightmare, of course you don't want them to come back to the
Yeah,
table.
of course
Like,
not.
if they've made the time worse for you, everybody at the table, and the Dungeon Master, then of course you're not going to want them to come back.
Yeah, of course.
But at the same time, you never know, because they might have just been in a really bad headspace. They might come back a completely different player, and you might actually really enjoy having them around.
I agree.
So it's a catch-22, but at the same time, I think you need to vocalize the way that you feel in terms of like, look, I'm having such a better time without them. I understand that we were going to let them come back. I don't want that.
Yeah.
But it's not just up to me.
Yeah, no, I
say,
agree. I agree.
Are you the asshole? Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely
not.
No.
I also think it's really important to be able to give this person a second chance too.
I agree.
Like, especially with saying, you know, they were going through some things. Like, man, outside external factors can really, really have a
100%.
huge influence on how you are. Like, I think it's really important to be able to give people second chances. And I always believe once you talk to someone about what the issue is, it's so important to give them a chance to be able to work off of that, because how are they going to change if they don't know?
You can't change if you don't know there's the problem.
Yeah.
That's always what we say.
Yeah.
But like, and you know, man, like people have gone through a lot in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
It's been a tough time for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think we do need to give each other the grace.
Yeah,
of,
I agree.
Like, if you've gone through something, like, I'll let you come back.
Yeah.
But, you know, wanting what the heart wants.
Yeah, no,
you can't deny yourself that.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. No, nothing wrong with that.
But I think at the same time, understanding that, you know, they were going through something.
Yeah.
I don't think you're the asshole here at all.
No.
I don't think, well, if they were going through something, I don't think anyone's the asshole here.
No, I agree. No, I don't think anyone is. I think, like, you know, and also OP's like, our characters actually went and did this, and people are being more free. Like, your gut instinct is your gut instinct for a reason. Like, if you're perceiving something to be like that, it probably is true.
Yeah.
It probably is the case that everyone feels that weight lifted,
Yeah.
right? Like, people people can. You can pick up an energy in a room, right? And it's exactly like what happened with us. Like once that happened, it was completely a different vibe for the better, right?
Yeah. Oh my God, so much better. In that campaign, it was so much better.
Yeah, and we that's what we thought. We were like, thank God.
Thank God, yeah.
Thank God.
And like you can look at that in that sort of feels bad way, but at the same time, it's just like I just want to come to Dungeons and Dragons and have fun. And if this person or these people are making it like not a good time for anyone, then I don't want to be playing.
Yeah.
So it's either we just don't play or they leave and it feels good. So I understand this feeling so much.
Yeah, me too.
I understand this. I get down with this feeling so much because you can't help but feel that way.
No,
you know, if your Dungeons and Dragons time, which is very like important to a lot of people, it's their like downtime, it's their like unwinding time, it's their fun time. Like if that's just getting ruined by one player, like that's a feel so fucking bad on everyone.
Agreed. Yeah, very much agreed. Yeah, I agree. I don't think anyone's the answer here. No, indeed.
Nah.
Well, that's it, isn't it? How was it? What do you think?
www.eldritchpodblast.co.uk. Go and pick yourself up any merch, but you can definitely go pick up.
Oh my God, a Cloggin' Time
t-shirt, which is going live as of 6 p.m. when this video launched.
Yep.
100%, right, Margaret?
Yes. Oh my God, 100%. Congratulations to Ariel, winner of the Homebrew Challenge. Sea and Sky. What was the theme? A culture, religion, or faction. Sorry.
No, the theme was Sea and Sky. The challenge.
The challenge, yes, indeed. Congratulations to our Homebrew winner. Please join us this Sunday on stream. We're going to be reading out some more of your submissions.
Yeah,
for Sea
it's going to be either clothing or
a race.
Yeah. It's two absolute sauces.
Yeah.
Because clothing's got loads in.
Yeah.
I think a race will be
Me
sick.
too. I can't wait.
Yeah, unreal. So excited for that. Yeah, come and join us on stream. We stream Tuesday, Friday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Oof, that was rocky. That was a bit of a spicer. Yeah, come join us on Twitch on Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday for all your D&D and Pokemon goodiness. We're going to be doing some advice tomorrow on stream, aren't we? Yeah,
yes.
Advice on Friday.
Yes.
Advice on Friday. Come and hang out.
Yes.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, ring the bell. All of that stuff helps the video so much. It helps me and Margaret so much. We saw all of your comments on Monday's video, so thank you so much for everyone for being so understanding.
We'll talk about that more maybe next episode.
on Monday's episode.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
Join the Discord. Give us your stories. All that good stuff's down in the description below. Give me your blood. I love you.
I love you.
Bully loves you.
Mm-hmm.
We've been the Eldritch Podblast. We, you and me.
Oh my God. I'll die.
You, me, no one else. No one else in this room is playing Eldritch Podblast. And Margaret.
Oh.
We've been the Eldritch Podblast. And we're going to see you on Monday. Bye.